everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the Jordan Report, and I am your host, Robert Jordan. Everyone, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Okay, guys, we're going to stick with Chicago. There's a lot going on in Chicago. It's a city that's literally falling apart at the seams. 3 officers were shot today. This is on top of the officer who just killed himself yesterday, and one before that. We're going to go through the news real fast. It's their local news, and we're going to get out of here. I'm just going to show you the local clip.
Yes, too.
Good afternoon. I'm Erica Surgeon, live in the CBS newsroom. We want to get you up to speed on some breaking news. Multiple police officers shot by a carjacking suspect. It happened outside the 25th District Police Station. That's at 5555 West Grand Avenue on the northwest side. That's where we find CBS 2 political investigator Dana Kozlov. She is live there on the scene. Dana.
Erica, it was a very chaotic morning here at Grand and Central at the 25th Police District. The area around it still blocked off with police tape as the investigation into exactly how those 3 officers were shot by a carjacking suspect. That, according to Superintendent David Brown, exactly how that happened is what is being investigated. The shooting took place at 9:40 this morning. Now, my photographer, Scott Wilson, was able to shoot this video of the actual crime scene behind the 25th Police District. You can see 3 bullet holes in the door, the driver's side door of one Chicago SUV. Multiple sources now telling us this is what happened. That carjacking suspect was being brought here to the 25th District this morning. It was a combative suspect, so officers handcuffed him in the front of his body, we are told, not behind his body as officers are supposed to do, possibly to subdue him. They put him in the back of a squadrol. That is a larger police vehicle that can hold several people. Put him in the back of the squadrol. And according to our sources, when that door to the squadrol was open to bring the suspect out and into the station, he had a gun, and that is when he opened fire. Dozens of shots were fired by the suspect. He emptied his gun, we are told by sources, and also by officers who returned fire. Now, exactly why he had his gun, whether he was searched or not, that is still being investigated. But what we do know is 3 Chicago police officers were shot. One officer was shot in the neck. He was taken to Illinois Masonic. Another police officer shot in the vest, but the bullet did not go through the vest, we are told by the superintendent. A 3rd officer shot in the hip. He was taken to Loyola University Medical Center. The offender also shot. His condition at this point is unknown, but the investigation continues. And I also have been told by a source in the last few minutes that the officer who was shot in the neck is in very critical condition. In fact, this source tells me, and this has not been confirmed outside of this source, that he was unresponsive when brought to Illinois Masonic, that they have had to revive him at least once. We hope to have more details and an update from Police Superintendent David Brown throughout the day, but this investigation continues. Again, all of this happening at 9:40 this morning behind the 25th Chicago Police District at Grand and Central. Erica?
Thank you, Dana, for all those new details. Just want to go back to a couple of things. One, this was a carjacking suspect that was linked potentially to an incident back in June. Is that right, Dana? Okay, well, we want to take you now to Illinois Masonic Medical Center just to confirm from some earlier reporting. The suspect, as Dana said, managed to fire several shots at officers after being arrested. The officers spotted the car because this car had been linked potentially to a carjacking that occurred back on June 26th. That is what we're hearing. Now you're seeing a live look here at Advocate Illinois Masonic Medical Center. As Dana mentioned, this is where the most critical officer has been taken. He suffered a gunshot wound to his chin. We're hearing close to the left side of his neck and also to the vest. A trauma surgeon there at the hospital, Dr. Samuel Kingsley, was saying that they were working to stabilize him. We could hear from Dana just how serious his condition was, and that included adding a breathing tube to help in his breathing process. So one officer here. We also have 3 actually two other officers who suffered gunshot wounds that are at Loyola University Medical Center, one to the vest that did not penetrate, one to the hip. Additionally, we have two other officers, so a total of 4 at Loyola, because these 2 other officers were suffering chest pain, so they were also transported. So a total of 1 officer at Illinois Masonic, where you were seeing the scene earlier, and then 2 with gunshot wounds and 2 additionals with other injuries that are at Loyola. The suspect, the offender Dana mentioned, was at Stroger Hospital, condition unknown at this hour. We continue to update this on our CBS in Chicago website. You can see video updates throughout the afternoon, and as warranted, we may break back into coverage to let you know of anything else that we hear, particularly about that officer who is in very serious condition at Masonic. For now, we return you to regular broadcasting.
Okay, guys, another day in Chicago, another bloody day, only this time it was the cops.